Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here. This is my spoiler-filled review of Invincible Season 2, Episode 3. Gotta be spoiler-filled here because I can't really talk about my emotions toward this episode and my true feelings unless I really get into what actually happened and just express how devastating some parts of the episode was and just how crazy the end of this episode was and how the direction we are going in is about to be to infinity and fucking beyond because... guys, we are truly at the point where Invincible is about to get crazy, and we are not going back from here. So, with that being said, this is a full spoiler warning right here in the spot here. You have been warned. So, without further ado, let's get into it. I really only want to talk about three and a half things. The reason why I say a half is because I really enjoyed the dynamic between, I can't think of Robot and the little girl. I don't know their names at the moment. I'm not really the best with names. I only know like Mark and Debbie and Omni-Man, and I know some characters, but the two kids I'm describing I don't know. But I really enjoyed their little narrative of them going out into the world, going on a date, and Robot just experiencing a lot of human things for the first time. I thought that was really cute. I'm a sucker for romantic storylines, so I really just wanted to add that. That was the half part. But as far as the three things that I really want to talk about, first, Alan the Alien storyline. We all know where I'm going with this, but let me just, talk about it regardless. I loved Alan the Alien storyline. I loved how we got his backstory. I loved how we got to meet Tatiana Maslany's character, who was his girlfriend. I love how they really just introduced Alan's goals. And I mean, we all knew like what his purpose was when he told Mark like what in season 1 what he was here for, but we really just got to see it from his perspective, and we really got to see honestly like the council and just who he has to report to and how they feel like there's a mole in the council themselves, and all of those feelings are proven in the most ruthless way possible because the Viltrumites pull Alan out of his seat and take him into space and give him the most brutal fucking jumping I've possibly ever seen since, not a lot of you are going to know these events, but if you're from the DMV area, back when I was in high school, there was it was literally like it was like a Tokyo Revengers type 50 on 100-man brawl. It was 50 people in black, 50 people in white, and they all just brawled each other. It was literally something straight out of Tokyo Revengers. But basically, Alan was given one of the most brutal beatdowns. I want to say it's one of the most brutal beatdowns we've ever seen in the show, but for me personally, Omni-Man and Mark is still probably up there, and Alan the Alien's beatdown is just like a smidge below, just because Mark got beat to a pulp. If Mark wasn't invincible, he literally would have ended up like Alan 40 times worse, but Alan got it bad. Alan got his eye knocked out of his socket. Alan got his arm chopped off. Alan got his stomach completely rearranged. And by that, I just mean it just completely just out of him. And Viltrumite Steve Harvey is clearly going to be a problem for episodes to come. Can't wait to see more of him. But shout out to Viltrumite Steve Harvey. The Viltrumites are just showing that they are not to be fucked with, and like we've heard about them, we've heard a lot about just how ruthless they are, but actually getting to see it is ridiculous. I mean, and honestly, it's crazy because even once Alan got whooped in this episode, my mind couldn't even as the episode was continuing on, my mind couldn't even process what I just saw. I literally had to watch that scene 3 times. And I know you're probably telling yourself, why are you torturing yourself like that? I just had to watch that 3 times to see if what I just saw was that, if that was just real. Because that is the type of stuff that Invincible does to you. Like literally in episode 1 where where Omni-Man kills the Guardians, that was a moment where I had to keep rewinding and watching. And as painful as watching that scene is, I just had to keep watching it to keep rewinding it and seeing if what I'm watching is actually happening in front of me or if I'm just completely hallucinating it. And unfortunately, that beatdown was real. And these Viltrumites are not to be fucked with, man. I'm terrified of the Viltrumites. I am completely terrified of them. I don't even, at this moment, I'm not too fond of the comics. Like, I don't really try to spoil stuff for myself. I know a bit of information, but not too much about the Viltrumites. I'm not trying to spoil the show for myself. But I at this point, I don't even know how these guys are going to get whooped or how they're even going to be able to beat down one of them. This is ridiculous. Like, 3 Viltrumites is like getting jumped by an entire army at that point. Like, that's just ridiculous. And then, so that's where we are with Alan, the alien storyline, and I think he is going to make a full recovery. I don't think Alan is dead at all. They said he should be fine. How? I have no idea, but I'm sure that will be explained to us in future episodes. But second part of this episode I wanted to talk about was Debbie's storyline, which I absolutely loved. Loved Debbie's storyline because she is going through so much traumatic experience. She finally decided to call that number that Olga gave her, and she finds out that it's a counseling session for for partners of super people. And then she meets one person and goes out for drinks with him, who's played by Daveed Diggs. I don't necessarily know who the character's name was, but she goes out for drinks with him, and they find out that whatever the green lady's name, whatever the green super lady's name was who Omni-Man killed, that was his girlfriend. And then he finds out that Omni-Man was her husband. Now, where I completely, and this isn't, a problem with like the writing or anything in the show, but where I had a problem with the character who Debbie was talking to, because for him to just completely shun her off and say and for Debbie to go like, I didn't know that's who Nolan was, I was tricked for 20 years, and bro says you should have known. What are you talking about? Like, how would she have known that? Like, can we just take a step back for a second and realize that, yes, although Debbie was married to a mass fucking murderer, how was she supposed to know that? And why would she know that? And I'm pretty sure if she found that out earlier than she was supposed to, she wouldn't be on Earth right now. So can we, like, I get it, you're hurting and you're mad that he killed your girlfriend and stuff like that, but just to say ignorant stuff like that, dude, no, that just doesn't make any fucking sense at all to me. And if you ever talk to Debbie like that again, I'll be sure to blow your fucking house up. Cause no, but I really, really enjoy the fact that this show is taking the time to truly highlight just how traumatic of an experience that is, to know that the 20 years of your life, of your marriage, for that matter, have been an absolute lie. Like, it just wasn't what you were expecting, and someone was completely different. And they're not really glancing over the fact we've spent time with Debbie in these 3 episodes, truly going through her, trying to process everything that is happening in the best way she possibly can, and it's very hard for her. And I really appreciate the fact that the series is not just kind of, we focused on it in episode 1, now we're just gonna move on. It's hard to move on from something like that, and this show is truly highlighting that. It's not easy to overlook something like that. And now that we are, at that point where, and the third thing, well, now we're at the point where I'm done talking about, Debbie's storyline, but the third thing that I want to talk about is the ending to this episode that is leading me to be so excited for episode 4. Omni-Man is back. Omni-Man is back. Mark got taken to this planet. I think he said it takes like six human days, or 6 human days to get to their planet, and he's so far away from home, and he's now seeing that his father is alive. And I know very pivotal details as to what is about to happen next, but I'm not necessarily going to get into those kind of spoilers, because I don't want the show to be ruined for you guys. I want you guys to, and I don't necessarily know how that information is going to be presented to us, so I'd rather just wait for episode 4. But Omni-Man is back, and shit is about to go left. I mean, that's literally what's been building for these first 3 episodes. And if you are an appreciator of build-up and an appreciator of storytelling like I am, you will definitely appreciate what this show has been doing, what it has been setting up. And from here on out, Invincible is about to get man. Man, shit ain't got serious. Like, Invincible is about to go crazy. This is truly something. This is where Invincible is truly about to get into that mode where it's trying to prove that it's one of the best superhero shows out. Not only the best superhero shows out, but one of the best shows out in general. And I cannot wait to see what happens in these next episodes. But that's kind of my thoughts on season 2, episode 3. Like I said, don't really necessarily want to get into the pivotal details about what's to come because I'm not the type of person to go spoiling that far. But just know we're doing spoiler discussions from here on out, and your mind is just going to be blown. But guys, look, those are my thoughts on Invincible Season 2, Episode 3. Really appreciate you guys for checking it out. Be sure to tell me in the comments below what your thoughts were on the episode, your thoughts on the season in general. For the comic book lovers, how do you think the information is going to be presented to us? We all know, if you've seen the comics, like I said, I'm not the biggest avid. I've skimmed through the book, so I've seen, some certain story arcs that happen, but I tried not to spoil too much for myself. But let me know in the comments below how you guys are enjoying the season so far. I really do appreciate you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, and so much more, guys. Really do appreciate it. Look, this is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.